Salut mon pote, comment ça va? Today, let's talk about les indicateurs de temps. We talked about this in the A1 level, we talked about this in the A2 course. This is the time to recap everything and see some new grammar that will be a bit more complex than what we've seen until now. First of all, as always, if you want to take the best out of this video, I would suggest that you take a piece of paper and a pen to do the exercises that we're going to do today. You can put your phone away because for this one you will not need it, so to not be distracted. And you should put the video in full screen mode, obviously, so you are not distracted by anything else. Okay? Let's get into it. We're going to cover three kinds of expressions and vocabulary. The one to express the idea of duration in French, the one to express continuity, and the one to express a moment. This will be the biggest one, the last one. Okay? Duration and continuity will mostly be a recap of what we've seen until now in the A1 and A2 course. By the way, you can go check out my website if you want to access the courses that I have, the full structured courses for those of you who want to learn French fast and by themselves. Les trois expressions, the three expressions that will be used to express durations. Pendant, pour, en. Let's review the three of them. The most famous is pendant, right? Pendant expresses a limited period of time. It's a generic expression that just means that something happened for this period of time. Par exemple, j'ai marché pendant 3 heures. I walked for 3 hours, like I spent 3 hours walking. Pendant 3 heures. Elle va voyager pendant les vacances. So I put this example to show you that you don't have necessarily to have a quantity duration, like 3 hours. It can be a more abstract duration, like pendant les vacances. She's going to travel during the holidays. Elle va voyager pendant les vacances. But even if les vacances is a bit more abstract than 3 hours, for example, it's still a fixed period of time. It's the holiday. It's not forever, it's holiday. J'ai fait une sieste pendant que tu téléphonais. I took a nap while you were on the phone. So here the fixed duration is pendant que tu téléphonais. So you were having a phone call, maybe for 10 minutes or 30 minutes or 3 hours, I don't know. But during this time, I took a nap. J'ai fait une sieste pendant que tu téléphonais. Très bien. Now, let's go for pour. One thing to note for this one, this indicateur de temps, I think, is especially difficult for people who speak English as a first language because you are tempted to translate words in English and you want to say for pour and this kind of thing. So please take this out of your mind because if you start to try to translate literally English and French using for, you will have a lot of trouble, man. So we use pour to talk about a duration, usually in the future, that is planned in advance. This has this idea of a planned duration in advance. For example, je pars pour 2 semaines. I'm leaving for 2 weeks. Which means that wherever I'm going, I am going there for 2 weeks. I will spend 2 weeks there. Je pars pour 2 semaines. J'ai réservé une chambre pour 2 nuits. Par exemple, tu vas à l'hôtel. Let's say that you go to the hotel, for example. I booked a room for 2 nights. J'ai réservé pour 2 nuits. So, you know, it has this idea of a duration that is planned in the future. Pour 2 nuits. I will spend 2 nights here. Ils sont mariés pour la vie. They are married for life. Here, the duration is a bit more abstract, but still works. You know, like la vie is like a planned duration for the future. They are married for life. Ils sont mariés pour la vie. Last one to review is en, which is maybe a bit less common for foreign people to see. So, you know, great way. Like if this is your first time discovering it, congratulations. En, we use it to talk about a duration of time that was necessary to do something specific. Okay? For example, elle a couru 10 km en 50 minutes. Here, en carries with it the idea that she needed these 50 minutes to do 10 kilometers. Okay? Il a appris le français en 6 mois. He learned French in 6 months. So it took him 6 months to learn French. 6 months was the necessary duration to achieve learning French. Okay? Il a appris le français en 6 mois. And let's use this sentence to see what happens if I use pendant, pour et en. J'ai appris le français, pardon, il a appris le français pendant 6 mois. Il a appris le français pendant 6 mois is something like he spent 6 months learning French. I don't know if he succeeded or no. I just know that for 6 months he took a bit of time every single day to learn French. He spent 6 months learning French. Maybe he has a terrible level. Maybe he's not A1 level or anything. Maybe he sucks at French, but regardless, he spent 6 months learning French. When I say il a appris le français en 6 mois, it has this idea that he succeeded. No, he knows French. He learned French. He did it. And it took him 6 months. And if I were to say il a appris le français pour 6 mois, so this one is weird and we wouldn't use it, but grammatically it's still correct, it would imply something like he is going to spend 6 months in France, for example, in the future, so he learned French. And he will use French only for 6 months, for the 6 months that he is going to spend in France in the future. Okay? This is the idea here, but the sentence is a bit strange and we wouldn't say it like this, but grammatically still correct. Okay? I think we can start doing already a quick practice exercise. So let's look at this. Imagine, j'habite à Lille. So I live in Lille and I want to take some holiday in Istanbul. So I depart from Lille. I arrive in Istanbul. The journey takes me 2 days. You can see below here. The journey takes me 2 days. Now in Istanbul, I will spend 3 days. Okay? So I arrive in Istanbul. I spend 3 days. And then I leave Istanbul. And it takes me 1 day to go back to Lille. Okay? This is the situation. So let's imagine that a woman is doing this travel, this journey. Une femme voyage de Lille à Istanbul. I want you to read the 3 sentences here. Elle est allée à Istanbul 2 jours. Elle est partie 6 jours. Elle a visité Istanbul 3 jours. I want you to fill in the blanks with pendant, pour et en. So each 3 of them you will have to use it once. So you can pause the video here. You take your pen and paper and you write down, you copy. I mean, if you want to do it seriously and you have enough time, I would like you to copy, to write down the whole sentences with the right word. Ok? Donc tu peux mettre la vidéo en pause et faire ça. C'est bon? On regarde. Eh ben, elle est allée à Istanbul en 2 jours. It's like, it took her 2 days to go to Istanbul. The thing that she had to do was aller à Istanbul, was to go to Istanbul, and to do this specific thing, she needed 2 days. It was the necessary time to do it. So, en 2 jours. Right here, 2 jours. Elle est partie pour 6 jours. Yes, because she departed from Lille. So she left for a total of 2 plus 3 plus 1 equals 6 jours. In total, she left for 6 days. She was away 6 days. Elle est partie pour 6 jours. Fair enough, grammatically, you can also say elle est partie pendant 6 jours. Like it's also correct. Elle a visité Istanbul pendant 3 jours. So she spent 3 days visiting Istanbul. She visited Istanbul for 3 days. Ok? Très bien. Quick bonus fact, whenever you use pendant right before a number, like pendant 6 mois, pendant 3 heures, when speaking, you can actually remove it. It's okay, like we do this all the time. Il a appris le français 6 mois. J'ai marché 3 heures. You know, I walked 3 hours. J'ai téléphoné 30 minutes. You know, you can remove pendant. Or you can leave it, no issue. Ok. Partie numéro 2. Expressing continuity. This one I think is really easy. It will be the easiest part of the video. And I think you've seen this before in A1 and A2 course. Okay? On a donc depuis et ça fait que. These are basically the same. We use them in the same context. We use them to express something that started in the past, but is still ongoing right now. So it's not a fixed duration anymore, because it's something that is ongoing in the present. Okay? Par exemple, je vis au Chili depuis 2 ans. I live in Chile like since 2 years, for 2 years. Okay? Which means that 2 years ago I moved in Chile, and I still live in Chile right now. Like I don't know for how long I will live in Chile, but right now I'm still living in Chile. So I've been living here for 2 years. Okay? And it's exactly the same than saying ça fait 2 ans que je vis au Chili. So ça fait plus the duration plus que. Ça fait 2 ans que je vis au Chili. Je vis au Chili depuis 2 ans. Exactly the same. Ça fait 2 ans is something like it's been 2 years that I live in Chile. It's something like this. Okay, if you wanted to translate it. Nous sommes partis depuis 4 heures. Ça fait 4 heures que nous sommes partis. We left for 4 hours. It's been 4 hours that we left. Something like this, okay? Like we have left 4 hours ago. All right? It's exactly the same. Ça va? Très bien. New practice exercise. I want you to fill in the blanks here using pendant, pour, en ou depuis. Okay, so now I'm adding depuis to the equation. Vas-y. Tu peux mettre la vidéo en pause ici et faire l'exercice. You can pause the video here, do the exercise. C'est bon? On regarde. Pendant les vacances de Noël, le magasin reste ouvert. So, for the fixed amount of time of the Christmas holiday, pendant les vacances de Noël, during the Christmas holiday, the shop will stay open. Le magasin reste ouvert. Depuis une semaine, je suis très malade. So like, for a week, I've been very sick. And I am still sick right now. My sickness started a week ago, but right now, I am still sick. Marc et moi sommes amis depuis 15 ans. We have been friends for 15 years. And we are still friends right now. Depuis 15 ans. Our friendship is ongoing. Il va essayer de monter ce sommet en seulement 5 heures. So here, he's going to attempt to climb this peak, this mountain, in only 5 hours. So you really have this idea of achieving something. Here, essayer de monter au sommet. And to do this, he will require 5 hours. Donc, en 5 heures. And the idea of requiring an amount of time is emphasized here by the seulement, which means like in only 5 hours. Je pars en vacances pour un mois. J'ai vraiment hâte. Je suis épuisé. So I go, for a month of holiday, basically. I will spend 1 month in holiday. L'ascenseur sera hors service pour 8 jours à partir de jeudi, pendant 8 jours à partir de jeudi. Fair enough, you can use both. It carries the same idea here. The elevator will be hors service. How you say this in English? Will be out of order, for 8 days. starting jeudi. Ce soir, j'ai un dîner. So tonight, I have a dinner planned. Je dois passer chez moi après le travail et me préparer en 30 minutes. I will have to pass by my place after work and get ready in 30 minutes. So I have something to achieve here, which is me préparer, and I will only have 30 minutes to do it. Ok? Très bien. Now, let's look at these two sentences here. Depuis une semaine, je suis très malade. Marc et moi sommes amis depuis 15 ans. Sorry, there's a small mistake here. Sorry, my mistake. I want you to modify these sentences. Instead of depuis, you use ça fait que. So you transform those two sentences using ça fait que. You can pause the video here again. C'est bon? On regarde. Depuis une semaine, je suis très malade. I said we needed to take ça fait plus the duration plus que. Donc, ça fait une semaine que je suis très malade. Ça fait 15 ans que Marc et moi sommes amis. Ok? Très bien. Last part, the biggest one, expressing a moment. So we're going to see two ways of expressing a moment. Expressing a moment from right now, from the present, and from another time. This notion of expressing a moment from another time might be abstract to you right now. Don't worry about it, we're going to cover it and it will seem super obvious to you very soon. Let's focus on now. Alors, on peut exprimer un moment du passé, so at the past, in the future, dans le futur, or an idea of right now. Okay? A lot of expression, some that you already know. Hier, yesterday. Aujourd'hui, today. Demain, tomorrow. Il y a dernier. All of this is the past. Ce ou cette has an idea of right now. Dans ou bien prochain for the future. Let's take a look. Hier et demain, I think, are very easy to use. Hier is yesterday. Demain is tomorrow. Hier soir, nous avons mangé au restaurant. Yesterday evening, we ate at the restaurant. Demain, nous mangerons au restaurant. Tomorrow, we will eat at the restaurant. So, I hope, if you have followed everything until now, you should be comfortable with like passé composé and futur simple, okay? I need you to be comfortable with it because this is a help for you to know if I'm talking at the past or at the future. You know that hier goes together with nous avons mangé. I'm using passé composé because this is yesterday. Mangeront, I am using futur simple because this is tomorrow. Okay? So you should be okay with using these easy conjugations. Okay? I think you have followed the A1 and A2 course probably already. No, using il y a et dans. This is just a reminder because you have seen this before. Il y a means ago. So a point of time in the past. Dans is in so a point of time in the future. No, we're not talking about durations anymore. We're talking about a precise point in time. Il y a 2 jours, 2 days ago. Dans 2 jours, in 2 days. Il y a 2 jours, nous avons mangé au restaurant. 2 days ago, we ate at the restaurant. Dans 2 jours, nous mangerons au restaurant. In 2 days, we will eat at the restaurant. Il y a 1 heure, elle m'a téléphoné. So, 1 hour ago, she called me. Dans 1 heure, elle va me téléphoner. In 1 hour, she will call me. Okay? Il y a 1 heure, dans 1 heure. And you can use this with minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, anything you like. Il y a 5 ans, ils sont allés au Brésil. 5 years ago, they went to Brazil. dans 6 mois, in 6 months, they will go to Brazil. Ok? Ils iront au Brésil. Très bien. That's it for dans and il y a. I think it's easy because you've seen this from the A1 level. Now, using dernier et prochain, I think it's also easy for you. La semaine dernière, le mois dernier, l'année dernière, so last week, last month, last year, ils sont allés au Brésil. This is all in the past. Et pour le futur, la semaine prochaine, le mois prochain, l'année prochaine. So, next week, next month, next year. Okay? You don't really say le jour dernier et le jour prochain because you say hier et demain, right? Obvious. But you can also use dernier et prochain with more abstract concepts like July, for example. Juillet dernier, elle a quitté son copain. It's like last July, she left her boyfriend. So somewhere between the 1st of July and the 31st of July, last year, she left her boyfriend. L'été prochain, je prendrai des vacances. Next summer, I will take holiday. Okay? So you can really play with it, just like I did here. Not only using semaine, mois, année, but more original point of times, like a month or a season, for example. No, for the idea of no, it's kind of the same, but we use ce. Donc, cette semaine, ce soir, ce matin, ce mois-ci. It's really like this week, this evening, this morning, this month. Okay. Sometimes, like for this month, if we want to say that it's this month right now, we add si at the end. Ce mois-ci. You can also say cette semaine-ci. Ce jour-ci. Okay. Usually, you know, here I have written cette semaine, nous ferons la fête. Ce soir, nous ferons la fête. So this evening, we will party. This week, we will party. It's a bit tricky because, for example, this week can be used for the future or the past. I can say, this week, I have partied a lot. Or, this week, I will party a lot. Okay? Ce matin, nous avons rangé toute la maison. This morning, we have cleaned the whole house. Ce mois-ci, nous avons rangé toute la maison. This month, we have cleaned the whole house. Ok? Très bien. But if it is like 5 a.m. and you want to talk about this morning, you can talk about it as in the future. Like ce matin, nous rangerons toute la maison. This morning, we will tidy the whole house. Because right now it's only 5 a.m. It's like still the end of the night, you know? Ok, très bien. Petit exercice. So you have, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So I have put 6 expressions of time. Il y a, dans, pendant, depuis, cette semaine, l'hiver dernier. I want you to find where you have to put them in the sentences below. Okay? You have to write the most logical sentences possible. So you can pause the video here and do the exercise on your piece of paper or on your notebook. Ok? C'est bon? On regarde. L'hiver dernier, nous sommes allés faire du ski en Suisse pendant 2 semaines. So last winter, we went for skiing in Switzerland for 2 weeks. Elle a déménagé il y a 5 ans. She moved 5 years ago. Cette semaine, je range mon appartement. J'ai presque terminé. This week, I am cleaning my apartment. I am almost done. Allô? Je t'attends depuis 1 heure. Tu arrives quand? Désolé, j'arrive dans 5 minutes. Allô? I've been waiting for 1 hour. When are you coming, you know? So sorry, man. I arrive in 5 minutes. J'arrive dans 5 minutes. Ok? Très bien. Other exercise, exactly the same principle. This time we have il y a, dans, pendant, ça fait, la semaine dernière et demain. You can pause the video here. C'est bon? On regarde. Ça fait 2 heures qu'elle est au téléphone avec sa mère. You can see here we have the QU to create ça fait que. Ça fait 2 heures qu'elle est au téléphone avec sa mère. She's been on the phone with her mother for 2 hours. Je suis arrivé en France il y a 6 mois. I arrived in France 6 months ago. Mais j'ai commencé à apprendre le français seulement la semaine dernière. But I only started to learn French last week. Demain, nous irons au cinéma. So tomorrow we will go to the theater. J'ai appris le français pendant 2 ans. So I spent 2 years learning French. Dans 2 semaines, je vais enfin partir en France. In 2 weeks, I will finally go to France. Très bien. Now, almost the last part, expressing a moment from another time. Okay, this might sound confusing right now, but you will see what I mean. So, let's say that this is now. I hope you like my little drawings and I hope that they are easy to understand. I'm trying my best, okay? I am presenting it just the way I would like someone to present it to me, with my own logic. So I hope this works for you. Let's say this is right now. From right now, I speak from right now. So I say, yeah, like la semaine prochaine, je vais aller en Suisse. Next week, I will go to Switzerland. Ou bien, l'année dernière, je suis allé en Chine. Last year, I went to China. Okay? This is like next week relatively to now. This is last year relatively to now. But I can also express time relatively to another point of time. Let's say that this is me right now. I tell you, last year I went to China. So, relatively to now, this is last year, l'année dernière. L'année dernière, je suis allé en Chine. But what if I want to say that last year I went to China, but 1 year before that I went to Brazil. Like 1 year, not before now, but now before this one. So this one become the reference. Then I will say l'année d'avant, the year before, literally. So from now on, last year I went to China. The year before I had been to Brazil. You know what I mean? This one is the year before relatively to l'année dernière, which was already relative to now. Okay? I let you think about it. You can even pause the video if you want, just for the logic to click in your mind. I think once the logic clicked, it's very easy to understand. So, one more time. This is right now, and it's like last year I have been to China. For example, now we're in 2024. So last year in 2023, I've been to China. The year before, I had been to Brazil in 2022. Donc l'année d'avant, the year before, is the year before this one. Okay? Now, lots of expression to talk about this. La veille means the day before. Par exemple, hier, j'ai mangé un steak. La veille, j'avais déjà mangé un steak. So yesterday is relative to now. Yesterday, I ate a steak. La veille, which is the day before, I had already eaten a steak. La semaine d'avant, the week before. Le mois d'avant, the month before. L'année d'avant, the year before. Or you can also say la semaine précédente, le mois précédent, l'année précédente. L'année précédente. Oh là là, sorry about this. Making a lot of mistakes here. Should be l'année précédente. Très bien. Exactly the same for the future. Let's say that relatively to now, demain, non, la semaine prochaine, je vais aller au restaurant. So next week, I will go to the restaurant. The week after, the following week, la semaine d'après, I will take some holiday. Ok? So, la semaine d'après is the week after another period of time that was already in the future. Exactly the same logic. So we have le lendemain, which is the day after, la semaine d'après, the week after, le mois d'après, the month after, l'année d'après, the year after. Or if you want, la semaine suivante, le mois suivant, l'année suivante, which is like the following week, the following month, the following year. Ok? Très très bien. Let's look at examples, okay? Let's do a quick practice exercise. So, taking this example of my holidays in Istanbul again. Let's say that right now, today is je viens de rentrer à Lille. Okay, I just went back to Lille. So, the now, the present time is today. It's here. I just went back to Lille. When did I leave Istanbul? And when did I arrive in Istanbul? Let's look at this. I can say, la semaine dernière, so last week, j'ai quitté Istanbul. Because retour à Lille is today. So 1 week before, I left Istanbul. J'ai quitté Istanbul. Ou bien, il y a une semaine, j'ai quitté Istanbul. 1 week ago, I left Istanbul. La semaine d'avant, je suis arrivé à Istanbul. So, 1 week ago, I left Istanbul. And the week before, okay, like 1 week before, I arrived in Istanbul. You get my point? You know what I mean? So, the 1 week before is relative to this. And the last week is relative to right now, to today. Let's look at this. La semaine dernière, j'ai quitté Istanbul. What can I put here? J'ai quitté Lille. Donc, j'ai quitté Lille is here. J'ai quitté Lille relatively to me leaving Istanbul. What can I put here? You can pause the video, think about it. You can even write it if you want. Eh ben, la semaine dernière, j'ai quitté Istanbul. So, last week, I left Istanbul. 2 semaines avant, j'ai quitté Lille. 2 weeks before, I had left Lille, right? Because here, I live Istanbul. And 2 weeks before, I had left Lille. And all of this is happening in the past. Ok? Très bien. Let's say that le 16 mai, don't know why, but le 16 mai, here, j'ai quitté Lille. Sorry, wait. Ok. Le 16 mai, j'ai quitté Lille. So here, I left Lille on the 16 mai. Je suis arrivé à Istanbul. So now, this is still today. But I'm telling you a story. My story is, ok, le 16 mai, j'ai quitté Lille. The May 16, I left Lille. And here I arrived in Istanbul. So I arrived in Istanbul relatively to this departure. Okay, the sentence goes number 1, number 2. So what can I put here? What point of time is this as compared to this? Le 16 mai, j'ai quitté Lille. La semaine d'après, je suis arrivé à Istanbul. The next week, the week after, okay, the following week, I arrived in Istanbul. Ça va? I swear this is not hard. This is just purely about getting the logic to click in your mind. That's it. Le 16 mai, j'ai quitté Lille. J'ai quitté Istanbul. What can I say here? So here I had, look at this closely. Le 16 mai, j'ai quitté Lille. La semaine d'après, je suis arrivé à Istanbul, because this is 1 week here. No, le 16 mai, j'ai quitté l'île. J'ai quitté Istanbul. So, no, it's this time relatively to this. What can I say? There's a small trap here. I can say 2 semaines après, j'ai quitté Istanbul. It's the same. 2 weeks after, I left Istanbul. And I can use this with everything. 2 weeks after, 2 months after, 10 years after, 10 years before that, 6 months before that, etc., etc. There's no limitation of quantity. Last one. Let's say now that I left Lille le 16 mai. It took me 1 day of travel and I arrived in Istanbul le 17 mai. Okay? So now I tell you, le 16 mai, j'ai quitté Lille. Je suis arrivé à Istanbul. So now I'm looking at this as compared to this. What can I say? We've seen the vocabulary just now. Le lendemain, ou bien le jour d'après, je suis arrivé à Istanbul. The following day, I arrived in Istanbul. The day after, I arrived in Istanbul. Ok? Très bien. Congratulations. And so now we just talked about like past and future, and there is kind of the same idea for the present in a way, which is to add la, la, at the end of a point of time. Cette année-là, I'm referring to that year. Okay? It will be easier for you to understand with examples. Like, cette semaine-là, I'm referring to that week in the past. Par exemple. And like, ce jour-là, cette semaine-là, cette année-là, cet été-là. Par exemple. Let's imagine a grandma telling a story, like talking about her life when she was young to her granddaughter. L'été de mes 10 ans, je suis parti en Italie. Cet été-là, il faisait très chaud. So, the summer of when I was 10 years old, I went to Italy. That summer, it was very hot. The issue is that if I say cet été without the la, it means like this summer right now. Right now, like 2024, which is the year where the grandmother is telling the story to her granddaughter. But I'm not talking about this summer right now. I'm talking about that summer, 70 years ago, when I was 10 years old. Cet été-là, that summer in the past. Okay? This is how we use la. L'année prochaine, je vais partir au Brésil. L'année suivante, je voudrais aller en Roumanie. Cette année-là, j'aurai 30 ans. So, next year, let's say, right now, it's 2024. L'année prochaine, je voudrais aller au Brésil. So, I will go to Brazil in 2025. L'année suivante, je voudrais aller en Roumanie. So, I will go to Romania in 2026. Is the following year, l'année suivante. Cette année-là, this year, that year, 2026, j'aurai 13 ans. I will be 30 years old. And there's a mistake once again. Sorry about this. Can you spot the mistake here actually? It's interesting mistake. Can you spot it? There's a mistake with j'aurai. What's the mistake here? If I read j'aurai like this is conditionnel. But now, he's not saying conditionnel. It's more logical for him to speak at the futur simple, which is j'aurai without a S, because he should be sure that that year he will be 30 years old. Congratulations to you if you were able to spot the mistake. Cette année-là, j'aurai 13 ans. So when he says cette année, if there's no la, he's talking about right now, this year 2024. But no, what he means is that year 2026 when I will be in Romania, j'aurai 30 ans. Donc cette année, là. Très bien. We can do one more quick practice exercise. What I want you to do now is to pause the video, read the sentence, and every time you have to choose between two possible answers of a point of time. So I want you to pick the right one to make a logical sentence. C'est bon? Let's look at it. Ta mère t'a appelé pour ton anniversaire? Non, elle m'a téléphoné le lendemain. Did your mother call you for your birthday? No, she called me the day after. Le lendemain. Cette randonnée était vraiment difficile. Ce soir, je vais me coucher tôt et demain, je serai en pleine forme pour la suivante. So this hike was really hard, really difficult. Tonight, I will go to sleep early and tomorrow I will be a lot of energy for the next hike. Tu te souviens de notre départ au Maroc? Ce jour-là, il faisait très chaud. Do you remember the day we left to Morocco? On that day, in the past, it was very hot. Hier, il a proposé à ses enfants de faire un voyage en van. Aujourd'hui, ils sont très excités. So, yesterday, he proposed to his children to travel with a van. Today, they are very excited. Tu as des projets pour cet été? Oui, la semaine dernière, j'ai réservé un voyage pour le Népal. You have some plan for this summer? Yep, last week, I booked a travel for Nepal. Très bien. Last part of this video, a few other expressions, random expressions to express a moment that I think are interesting for you to know at this level of your learning journey. On a quelques conjonctions que je voudrais te montrer. A few conjunctions that I want to show you. Après que, aussitôt que, dès que, une fois que. You use them with un verbe à l'indicatif. Whether it's présent, passé composé, futur, anything, just indicatif. No subjonctif, no conditionnel. Okay? They all kind of mean the same thing. Après que is like after that. Aussitôt que, dès que, une fois que is like as soon as. Alright? Par exemple, nous irons au restaurant après qu'il finira son travail. We will go to the restaurant after he will finish his work. Okay? And I can say, nous irons au restaurant aussitôt qu'il finira son travail. Nous irons au restaurant dès qu'il finira son travail. Nous irons au restaurant une fois qu'il finira son travail. I don't go too much in detail here because if you try to spend too much time explaining each of them individually, first of all, it gets tiring, it gets boring to you and to me, and it gets confusing more than it should be, okay? You should just know that all of them kind of mean the same thing with few differences, but the differences are really subtle. And the way to get used to them and get comfortable with them, in my opinion, is especially to be reading and listening resources in French. Like watching movies, reading books and everything in French will make you more comfortable to understand them and to use them than to try to study all the detail in an academic way. And a few prepositions to finish this. D'ici, dès, à partir de, après. How to use them? Let's go. Very easy. J'arrive d'ici 5 minutes. It's like I will be there in 5 minutes max, basically. It's like this is right now. This is now. This is in 5 minutes. J'arrive d'ici 5 minutes means I will arrive somewhere here, between now and 5 minutes. D'ici 5 minutes. Why we use d'ici? Because in my drawing, this is now, this is plus 5 minutes. Well, this is ici? No. The present time, like right now, is there. I am there. I am ici. And from ici to 5 minutes. D'ici 5 minutes. It's a way to think about it. Dès, par exemple, elle sera là dès demain. This means like she will be here tomorrow, but dès carries an idea that this is sooner than expected. This is the idea here. She will be there tomorrow, and we were not expecting her, like it's kind of great, like we were not expecting her to be there so soon. And she will be there tomorrow. Like I call you, oui, je serai là dès la semaine prochaine. I will be there next week. Je serai là dès la semaine prochaine. I will be there next week. But the day adds an idea that this is sooner than what you were expected. Ok? Très bien. À partir de is like from. Je suis disponible à partir de 14h. I'm available from 2 p.m. Après, vous pouvez venir après 14h. It's kind of the same idea. Je suis disponible à partir de 14h. I am free from 2 p.m. onward. Vous pouvez venir après 14h. You can come after 2 p.m. It's like you can come from 2 p.m. onward. It's really the same idea, both of them. Okay? And that's it. C'est tout. That's it for today. I hope this was really clear. I hope this can help you with your learning. So this is around, I would say, A2, B1 level. Some of what we saw right now is really a reminder of the A1 level. You can go check out the first link in the description of the video. It is the link to my website on which you can find my private courses, which are really structured for A1, A2, and B1 level for those of you who want to learn by yourself, and you can ask for coaching with me as well to have private classes with me using the courses that I have on my website. I am dry fasting today, not eating any food or drinking any water, so my mouth is a bit dry. I hope you cannot hear it. I'm a bit slow as well, but I did my best to be energetic regardless, so I hope it's still okay to watch and you cannot notice it so much. Alright, travaille bien, étudie bien, bon courage et à bientôt. Ciao mon pote, prends soin de toi, bisous.